What is up, RB gang? I am Relly B, of course. And I have Drew here with me. Basically, if you are watching this, then you should have watched my labor and delivery video already. This is gonna be like a behind the video of things that went on, I guess. I don't know what to call it. I don't want to say behind the scenes, but I guess behind the scenes. I don't know. But it's just a little story time of how my labor and delivery day went. So basically, I was about 38 weeks pregnant. If you do not know, my due date was February 1st. I had a scheduled C section for January 25th. The reason why it was scheduled is because I had a C section with my first child. If you had a C section before, then they give you the option to schedule one. I did not dilate with her until I got induced, and even then, I think I only dilated to probably 3 centimeters after about like 30 hours. So by then, my blood pressure was high, or my water was broken for 24 hours. Her heartbeat, her heart rate kept skipping a beat or something, where they was kept looking like they were very concerned. So I had a C-section. With him, I was like, okay, cool. I do want to have a natural birth, but if you don't know, I heard a myth like something about if you have a C-section before, then natural births just scare you, and it did. I was terrified. Don't know why, but I was terrified. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just schedule my C-section. I want my body to do what it supposed to do though, and have the baby on its own. I wanted that whole spontaneous labor where your water break and you gotta rush to the hospital. No. Told myself if I'm not dilated at all, like even if I was at 1, I would have been cool. But if I'm not dilated by the 25th, then I was gonna go ahead and have my C-section. I don't know what the difference is if I had a boy versus the girl, or I was 23 with her versus I'm about to be 28 with him. But this was a different pregnancy. I was very, very, very tired. Heartburn, back pain, stomach pain. It got to the point where I was getting these like little cramps in my leg, and okay, it's okay. So let me hurry up. It got to the point where I was having these cramps in my leg, and I just was over it. Kept complaining to my doctor. By this time, it's like the weekly appointments. So he's like, "Well, you're most likely having your C-section. You're not dilating at all." It got to the point I thought he was telling the story like, "Why am I not dilating?" But I ended up having to see like another doctor because he had an emergency or something, and she said the same thing. Like, really? So he's like, you're not dilating. It's not like we gotta watch your contractions or anything. So if you're uncomfortable, just go in. He was like, as long as you're over, like, I think he said the 37-week mark, we just can't schedule your C-section until 39, but you're good to go in at about 37. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go in. But in my mind, I'm like, if I go in, they're going to send me home. So I'm not going in. I don't feel like, getting ready just to get sent back home. So I went into, I think the doctor's on, I had him on the 19th, which means I went into the my appointment on the 17th. And I'm like, yeah, still complaining. He's like, well, if you do decide you want to go in or whatever, I'm going to be at the hospital on Friday. Now, he was supposed to be going out of town, so he was not going to be the doctor that did my scheduled C-section. He passed me, excuse me, he passed me along to someone else. So I'm like, okay, I'll see. I'll let you know. I might come in my mind, I'm like, I'm coming in. So I went home, and this is gonna irritate me, and I know it's probably gonna irritate y'all that I keep moving this on my face. So I went in. I went back and forth in my mind, like, okay, should I go in? Should I go in? Should I go in? Or should I just wait till the 25th? Talked to my fiance. He was like, it's whatever you want. I'm like, bet we going in. When I got my braids the next day, when I got my nails done, cleaned the house, made sure the bags was packed, make sure Brooklyn stuff was together for wherever she was going for them couple of days. Went in Friday morning. I had a Pop-Tart. Didn't really eat much. So by the time I got there, I was having contractions. By the time they put me on a monitor, all the contractions stopped. So they like, yeah, he's probably gonna send you home because you're not having contractions and da 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 da, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, whatever. In my mind, I'm like, he ain't sending me home. So he did come in. He wanted to say the same thing though, like, you don't have no, you're not having contractions. My contractions was every 5 minutes for 1 or 2 hours, and then it'll be an hour where I don't have any. So that was the hour where I wasn't having them. So they like, okay, well, as long as you have contractions, we'll keep you, but let's keep you until about 12 o'clock just so we can see. At that time, I think it was like 10 something or 11 something. I think it was like 10:30. So the ultrasound lady ended up coming in just to do the ultrasound. First of all, this is just a disclaimer. I think once we hit those weekly appointments, they should always do ultrasounds. That's just to throw that out there. There's no reason why my last ultrasound with my doctor was at 19 weeks and then I don't get another one after that, like until I'm having a baby. Like, that's weird. But anyway, ultrasound lady gets in, she's looking, she's like, okay, he looks great, but there is not that much fluid by his head. And so there was fluid there, it just wasn't enough, like the amount that they wanted to see. So she was like, the doctor's probably going to keep you. He ended up coming in, yeah, we're going to keep you. First of all, I still had a whole nother week left. So what would have happened if it was no fluid by his head? Like, things like that just worried me. So I was actually kind of happy that I did go in. Ended up keeping me. At this point, I'm already dressed, but remember I said I had a Pop-Tart. So they're like, oh, you ate something. We're not going to be able to do your C-section until probably tonight, maybe around 6 or 7 o'clock. They ended up coming back, like they spoke with, I think it was the anesthesia person or something, and was like, you know what? He said we're good to go. We'll just do it at 3 o'clock. So the reason why I think they want you to wait is because you're laying down, and if you got to throw up for the medicine, you can't be throwing up laying down. So they don't want you to eat. But I was perfectly fine. They went on and got me. Y'all, when I say my heart dropped, I'm all vlogging and stuff on the phone. I'm like, yeah, I still got a couple more hours until they come get me. It was like 2 something. When asked my fiance what time it was, he was like, a couple hours. It's about to be 3 o'clock. They about to come in here in a second. Y'all, my heart dropped. Labor is the closest thing to death. And baby, I got so nervous. So I don't know what happened, but I was nervous. Anyway, they did come in. They took me to the back. With Brooklyn, I was asleep. I was in and out of my sleep from the medicine. With him, I was wide awake, talking to his daddy. We going back and forth, just talking. I hear them, they pulling on me. I didn't feel nothing. So I love that. With her, I felt everything. So with him, I felt absolutely nothing. The lady's like, oh, she was in back of me, like they're about to pull the baby out. I got to see exactly when he came out, and they walked him to go get measured and stuff. Got to hold him, got to take pictures. So that whole experience was actually really, really great, and I was very blessed that we both came out of that extremely healthy with no complications, I should say. After that, my nose started itching, y'all. So I'm talking to the doctors and stuff when they come in, asking me questions, and I'm just like, it just like all in my nose. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not digging in my nose. They're like, oh no, it's okay. I'm like, my nose itch. My nose really itch. I think I was telling my mother-in-law too, like my nose itch. So she went and told the doctor, and when we came back and actually looked, I had a whole like rash under my nose, and it was like that's normal. It's from the medicine. I'm like, all right, whatever. Then I got to throwing up. So I'm sorry if y'all eating, but baby, I got to throw it up. Like, I could not keep nothing down. As soon as you have him, they want you to try to like start eating. So I think I had like some Jello or applesauce. That didn't stay down. Crackers didn't stay down. Water didn't stay down. Because the water didn't stay down, I wasn't peeing like they wanted me to. So according to them, the fluids that they were giving me should have still been making me pee, but it wasn't. Once I did was able to keep water down, I did start peeing, so that was a great thing. I did that probably for the rest of the night, basically. Well, majority of the night. They ended up taking me off of strictly everything, water and food, for an hour. Told me I can't eat nothing, and we'll start back up again. And I was fine after that. Another thing that happened was I was laying down, y'all. I couldn't see. I could not see. When I said that was so scary, like my vision really blurred. And my fiance was like, "Yeah, they told you that was normal, but I never heard nobody say that. All I remember is me telling the nurse that I couldn't see. She said she was gonna tell the doctor. The doctor did come in to check, like, I think my scar and stuff, but she never said nothing about me not being able to see. I brought it up to her, and she kind of like brushed it off, or maybe I just didn't hear her. So now I'm panicking, like, am I going blind? Like, I was nervous. That was horrible. Like being watching TV. First of all, you can't sleep because you just had a newborn. So I'm worried about, is he breathing? And then the doctors come in and out. Then they want to check you. Then they want to give you more medicine. Then they want to do this. So I already couldn't sleep, and then to be up and can't see the TV, and like chilling watching TV. 1 out of 10. Don't recommend. Like, that was horrible. But eventually I did fall asleep, and when I woke up my sight was back. So thank you, Lord, because I was nervous. Other than that, I really had a better experience than my first labor, I guess. It wasn't bad. I think I kind of already knew what to expect, like with the doctors coming in and out and through the night, because he was healthy. They checked everything on him. He can see, he can hear. Everything was fine with him. And honestly, it was a good experience besides that night of me throwing up and not being able to see and my nose breaking out into a rash. But other than that, it was cool. They did let us leave a little earlier than we were supposed to. Why? The Lions game was coming on. So he was trying to get home before the Lions game. And you're supposed to do like a full, I think it was 48 hours or something, or 24 after something. But they ended up letting us leave a little bit, couple hours early. So that was also good. Didn't really have no visitors this time. Last time, everybody wanted to come and see Brooklyn. This time, only my mom came, his mom, his dad, and then Brooklyn, of course, had to come see her brother. So, that was cool too. Got a lot of little, rest. Not really rest, but got to relax a little bit with just us and figure out how to do this parent thing again. Other than that, that is all I can say. Thank you guys for watching. If you have not, go watch my labor and delivery video. I am doing a 24-hour with the newborn and toddler soon, and some more videos. But until then, RB Gang, I love y'all.